Welcome to the Nicholas 11x12 technology. Today we're looking at the DOOGEE KISSME DG580 smartphone. The model name is quite funny, at least to me. Well, we'll see if this phone is so good that you'd kiss it. I already hear it screaming, "Kiss me! Kiss me! Kiss me!" No, not really. Jokes aside now, this phone looks very interesting on first sight. It's a 5.5-inch phone, features a quad-core processor, and currently costs about $109 on Banggood.com. Also, thank you so much Banggood.com for sending me this smartphone to review. In the box, as you'd expect, is the phone itself, a screen protector, very nice of DOOGEE to include one, then a white flat USB cable. Also included is this charger here, which looks kinda feminine, just saying. White earphones are also included, but they sound terrible, just like pretty much any other included earphone pair when it comes to smartphones. Last but not least, a quick guide. First of all, I just have to admit, for this low price of around $109, the build quality is amazing. Probably the best one I've come across on cheap smartphones so far. It feels very well made. Banggood.com has sent me the white version of this DG580, however you could also get one in black. The back cover has a nice touch to it. It's matte and not glossy at all, kinda makes an expensive impression. You also have a nice grip. The phone is very slim with its 5.5mm, feels elegant though. I'm not sure about you, but I kinda think the overall design looks very similar to the one of the OnePlus One phone, which necessarily isn't even a bad thing if you wanna brag on first sight without actually paying the premium price for the original. On the bottom here, we have the speaker. Up here, the 5-megapixel back camera with interpolation to 8 megapixels and dual LED flashes, but unfortunately they are pretty weak. The DG580 also has a front-facing camera, pretty much the same one as the back camera, 5 megapixels interpolated to 8, not bad for a front camera. On the top left, the 3.5mm audio jack and the micro USB connection. On the bottom left, the internal mic. On the left side of the phone is the volume rocker, on the right the power button. The KISSME DG580 features the Android 4.4.2 KitKat OS and has a 5.5-inch IPS OGS display with a screen resolution of 960 by 540 pixels. The resolution definitely is too low for a 5.5-inch display in my opinion. If you have good eyes, you'll immediately notice that, but to be honest, the resolution somehow doesn't seem to affect the picture quality that much in Android. Still, what bothers me a bit is that with certain colors, especially blue and gray, the pixels are a bit grainy. Other than that, the color reproduction is very good, and same goes for the viewing angles. Among all the cheap smartphones I've tested so far, this one by far has the best responding touchscreen of all. This phone makes use of the popular MediaTek MT6582 1.3 GHz quad-core CPU, and as for the GPU, the Mali 400MP. This DG580 surprisingly still offers 8 GB of internal storage and has 1 GB of RAM. This phone has a removable 2500 mAh lithium-ion battery. 2500 mAh aren't bad at all. Quite impressive for the price actually. Also, this phone can hold up to 2 SIM cards, a regular mini SIM and a micro SIM card. That's a very good combination indeed. Right beside is the micro SD card slot that supports capacities of up to 32 GB. The overall responsiveness of this phone surprisingly is fairly good. While it by far is not top notch, you also can't expect that from a $109 phone. Still, for the price I've seen much worse performing phones that actually cost more than this one. Hats off DOOGEE, you've done a good job here. I didn't expect it to be honest. Gaming, of course, thanks to that quad-core processor in combination with the Mali 400MP GPU, indeed is an option here with this phone, even though MediaTek isn't as powerful as the Qualcomm chips most of the time. To give you a better idea on the actual performance, in the Antutu benchmark this DG580 scored about 19,300, which is nice. Never forget the pricing, never forget it. And here another one, Geekbench if you prefer that one. The multi-core score in this tool is about 1,200, again nice. The battery life is very good actually for a phone in this lower price range with such specs. When doing casual web browsing, listening to music sometimes and so on, the battery lasted me a bit longer than 3 days. When doing some heavy demanding stuff, the battery runs low quicker of course, but there's easily enough charge for a full day, even more. But that's always depending on what you're doing with your phone. I'm very pleased with the battery life, no complaints there. Surfing the web works fine, but in rooms with a weaker Wi-Fi signal, the phone can sometimes drop the signal. I've definitely seen better Wi-Fi receivers on smartphones, but also a lot worse ones than this one. Still, there's no need to worry, it's still fine. The internal speaker sounds somewhat clear, but lacks a lot of power. The internal mic is fine, and same goes for the audio quality through headphones. Not excellent, but okay to good. Another thing I quite like about this DG580 are the wake gestures. Basically, when the phone is locked, you could just do a C gesture, for example, and this would then launch the camera app if you've configured it that way. And that works fairly well, and you can do that with the W, M, and up and down gestures too. Just assign different apps to each and you get great shortcuts. Another thing I like is this locking animation. No smooth fade out. Instead, this cool animation similar to what we've seen on old TVs, for example, when we turn them off. The camera quality, as you'd expect at this price point, isn't very good. I mean, it's still better than on most other cheap phones, but still, the quality isn't impressive at all. It's just an okay camera. Shooting video with this camera is just okay too. Nothing special really. I'm not sure about the resolution this camera is recording with, but once I transfer the video files to my PC and check the resolution there, it says 1080p. But, judging the video quality, I'm assuming the videos just get upscaled to 1080p. The DOOGEE KISSME DG580 is a really good smartphone when considering the low price point. Of course, as such, you can expect good things in all aspects. Still, good performance is offered, the display is good despite the low resolution and some grainy pixels, the touchscreen is very good actually for a cheap phone, the camera is okay, audio overall is also just okay. The build quality is very good for the price, and I was impressed to see such a long battery life. You can actually use this phone. For a price of about $109, even the price-performance ratio is very good. I can definitely recommend the DOOGEE KISSME DG580, the best cheap smartphone I've seen so far. Once again, thanks a lot to banggood.com for sending me this phone to review and making this review possible. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and visit niklas11x12techx.com to see videos there earlier than on YouTube.